When you hear the internet talk about an alpha, you probably picture a loud guy in a tailored suit yelling into a podcast mic to force his will on others. But the reality of emotional control is completely silent. Hustle culture and toxic bro science have weaponized the concept of confidence, stripping away its nuance to create a caricature built on arrogance and social dominance. This leaves you in a tough spot. You want to command a room and have your ideas respected at work, but you have no interest in adopting the toxic traits of a finance bro to get there. Developing unshakable confidence requires a systematic approach, moving past the idea that you're either born with it or you aren't. We are stripping away the cheesy motivational fluff to analyze the pragmatic frameworks and the high social costs required to build actual tested confidence. Choosing immediate social comfort and avoiding conflict guarantees a trajectory of mediocrity and eventual regret. You have to apply the concept of deliberate practice to your personality. Think of confidence as a physical muscle. It must be methodically strained under stress to be rebuilt stronger. Believing in yourself is a feeling. Discipline is a mandate for physical and mental action that forces your brain to adapt to pressure. This comparison table shows the exact behavioral split. On the left, the internet's fake alpha relies on arrogance, volume, and manipulation. On the right, stoic discipline is silent, observant, and rigidly controlled. Mastering these traits requires you to move your focus away from controlling external perceptions and toward regulating your own insecurities. Your level of authority in any room is measured by your internal emotional regulation, not by your external volume. You begin by habituating your nervous system to fear through deliberate micro-exposures to social anxiety. By repeatedly exposing your nervous system to judgment, your brain learns that awkwardness isn't a lethal threat, and the fear trigger naturally weakens. Look at this quadrant chart mapping emotional effort against confidence return. High returns require high-effort inputs, like speaking first in a meeting. These habits produce quiet authority and a drop in overthinking. But there is a price to pay. To make this work, you have to accept short-term public humiliation. You will look foolish at first. Stumbling over your words or being rejected isn't a failure. It is a required physical rep in this protocol. The fear of momentary awkwardness is the single biggest bottleneck preventing smart professionals from building unshakable confidence. The framework also forces a hard look at your ambition and whether you are willing to move beyond a safe, comfortable 9-to-5 loop. While anyone can state a massive goal, the actual work happens in the relentless, boring daily execution required to close the gap. This flowchart illustrates the required audit of your time. True ambition requires severing scattered energy inputs, like endless scrolling and toxic friends, and redirecting them into a single execution pipeline. Protecting your focus carries a heavy cost. You have to eliminate time-wasting relationships and comfortable weekend routines to maintain this pace. This creates a period of social isolation. You've cut out your old habits and social crutches, but your new reality hasn't materialized yet. External validation disappears during this phase. Nobody will clap for your daily grind. Your drive must be entirely internal. Reaching outlier goals requires accepting a temporary but intense period of social isolation. The final pillar addresses relationship dynamics and the common misunderstanding of how we influence others. Effective leaders trade aggressive confrontation for deep, active listening. Overreacting to conflict or exploding emotionally telegraphs weakness and insecurity to everyone in the room. Strict emotional boundaries function as an automated sorting system. They test incoming connections, rejecting the negative and passing the high value. This works only if you remain calm and communicate limits without apologizing. Frankly, enforcing these limits will inevitably anger the people who used to exploit your lack of boundaries. Shedding these energy vampires is a prerequisite for emotional independence. True relationship power is rooted entirely in your willingness to let unaligned people walk away. Internalizing this perspective is simple, but the daily execution is brutal. Look at this stoic mindset filter. To adopt this protocol, you must be willing to fail publicly, lose toxic friends, and listen more than you speak. If you are looking for quick manipulation tactics, a license for arrogance, or an excuse to treat others poorly, this framework is not for you. But if you are a chronic people pleaser or a professional bottlenecked by imposter syndrome, this protocol is the exact tool you need. Your first practical step happens tomorrow. Execute just one micro risk. Send that terrifying cold pitch email. State your idea in a meeting and simply let it be rejected. Trade your comfortable mediocrity for earned respect. Comment below with the one specific fear you are going to face tomorrow.